Hi, you are evolving with Etta, and my channel is all about life and relationships. And today I will be speaking on how, as I've probably talked about before on this channel, me being, going on 55 this year, in a relationship with a man 20 years older than me. And this makes our 24th year. So I believe at the beginning of February is when we'll be celebrating that anniversary. So if this is something that you think you may be interested in, just hang on around for a little bit, and I'm just going to speak on how it is for me to maintain a relationship with a man 20 years my senior. So, one thing that I know for sure, and that's probably with anything in particular, but especially with an older guy, he does not want to hear your stories about some petty, silly crap that is going on at your job, that is going on with your girlfriends, that is going on in somebody else's relationship. One thing an older man does not want to be bothered with, and that does not, again, have to just be an older man, but this is for sure one thing an older man does not want to be bothered with, is petty. Fortunately, I've been mature for a very long time. And again, like I say, being the youngest of five probably is what put me there. I know I've always, of course, been the youngest, but I've never been the smallest. So for a very, very long time, I guess, I want to say 7th grade maybe. I had height. So maybe 8th or 9th grade, I don't know, but definitely by senior high school, I had the height. So going through junior high school, I was getting height, but by the time I was in high school, I had the height. So people always took me as older and more mature than I probably was. So they treated me a certain way. Now, I can remember my very first job working in an office. I was 19 years old, and there was this lady, I cannot remember her name, but she wore she wore her hair like the lady in Mel's Diner named Flo. She had her hair in this beautiful French chignon that was perfect each and every single day, and she walked around calling me Miss Etta. Now this lady was my grandma's age. So again, this just has to do with me probably being too old for my britches. But so having a mature mate, and the stuff that he was, and guys are just so different. Guys, girls will sit up and and we, bug each other out, and we get on each other's nerves, and we'll talk, and we'll give each other fits. Guys, they don't do that. Guys will, we'll be mad at each other for years, or at least days and weeks, and years. But guys, they'll be like, man, that was stupid. And next thing you know, in 2 seconds, they're good again. But not for women. Don't even ask me what that's about. That's a whole nother video. So, but that's not what we're here for. We're basically here because I will go off on a rant. Anyway. So, basically, a more mature guy does not want to deal with petty. He does not want to hear the crap that you're dealing with in small scenarios, because to him, they're way more important things than some petty BS, which is so true. But it was so funny when we first started dating. He told me I needed to lighten up because I just pretty much got to the point where, look, I done been here for a long time. I'm sitting up here fooling with these immature guys and I'm not receiving any type of what I'm giving. So yeah, I was fed up. I had a talk with the Lord and I said, Father, if I ain't met him, I won't. So fortunately for me, not realizing I would have cursed myself. But of course, like I said, God takes care of all babies and fools. And I was a fool at that time, sitting up here talking about I don't want to meet nobody because obviously it's not nobody worth meeting out there. Well, fortunately, I'd already met him. I just didn't know it. That wasn't even none of my business back then anyway. That was all God's. So dealing with an older guy, another thing that is a surefire way of getting along with an older person is to have something to talk about. You know, when they say bring something to the table, there's nothing wrong with, I know sisters out there with their sugar daddies and, that do your thing. But I was a 30-year-old woman and I had my own stuff. I had my own everything, car, my place, working, my money. So I wasn't looking for nobody to take care of me. Again, you heard the talk that I had with God. I wasn't even, I'm not gonna be bothered. But I was just at a point where I loved being with me. And being with me was just fine with me because, not having to deal with struggle and crap and craziness, that was like super perfect for me. But when he started to court me, I paid attention like, we might have something here. And then I start hearing about, how he treat his mama, how he treat his son. As they say, that put the nail in the coffin. Yeah, single life was dead. So that's the second thing. Bring something to the table. Know that you have something to offer. Don't come with your hand out. Don't come looking for somebody to take care of you. Have something to offer. And I don't mean just like, okay, well, I have a place. Okay. Pretty, as Judge Judy says, beauty fades, dumb is forever. Don't come with just a cute face and a cute little waist and thinking that's the end all be all. No, you need way more unless the dude that you're hooking up with is not amounting to much. Okay, so this day and age, there are so many driven young women that's probably not even the majority of someone that's dating an older guy. So if by any chance you are interested or you are dating an older man, key point, have something that's going to hold his interest once you get his interest. Number 3, always be sure that however you started is how you're going to keep it going. If you're in the kitchen, you cooking, you cleaning, because mama said the quickest way to a man's heart is through his stomach. That is very true. Fortunately, I like to cook and it did start out that way, but he liked going out too. So as much as we ate at home, we like going to put our feet up underneath somebody else's table. So it was not, I'm not going to say demand, but it was not a requirement to have to be able to cook. But it was very nice to know that I didn't have to. So number 3, keep it going the way that you started out, unless it is a mutual decision that you can shift and change some things, because rules are made to be broken. So stuff can change if it decides. Number 4, please do not feel just because you're younger and you're the cutest thing out there and you got it going on, that you do not have to pamper him and spoil him. Because if he is spoiling you, he deserves to be spoiled too. Understand, you want to be put on a pedestal. You want to feel like you are the best thing since sliced bread, or so does he. And any man who acts like he does not is not being truthful. I'm not saying that you need it. I'm just saying it feels great. So it should be a mutual thing. That should go both ways. There's no way in the world that it's a one-sided relationship and that's a great relationship. No, as much as he is doing for you, I'm not saying go ahead and try to spend the money that he's spending on you. I'm definitely not saying that. I am saying when you feel spoiled and that feels great and wonderful to you, realize when you go out and do things or you present him with stuff that makes him feel special or that spoils him, buy him some roses. Get him a good dozen of roses. See what kind of year you're gonna have, okay? That's just from me to you. 24 years later, I'm just saying, I might know a little something. Number 5, I always do 5 because I feel like, let's get to the end. Number 5 for me, don't try to change him. Never, ever try to change the person that you picked to fall in love with, spend your time with, to spend your life with, to be with. Never, ever try to change your partner. And don't make him think that he can change you either. Because you picked me like this. This is what God did, okay? So we're gonna go with what God did. If it's not good enough for you, that's too bad because it was great enough for God. So here at Evolving with Etta, we're going for 1 million subscribers this year. 1 million. 1 million subscribers. So help me get there because I'm going to do better content. I'm going to be more consistent and I'm going to make it interesting for you. So if you found this interesting, hit that subscribe, hit that like button because that will let YouTube know that this is some good content and it needs to be shared and recommended.